my song. So anyways, welcome back to my channel. This is the Reddit Mess, where I read a bunch of Reddit stories. We're gonna have a ha kiki moment. Don't forget, like, if y'all wanted to send in your story, I'm gonna put my email down below. I can give you advice if that's what you want. If you just want to share something that's funny, I'm your girl. I'm your girl. Anyways, let's get into it. Woo! You left me for somebody else now. Yeah. Ooh, wait. Do you remember the rain? Do you remember the rain? Okay, so I really wanted to read this story specifically because I just could not believe it. I could not believe what I was reading. And I may just take this whole time, but this whole video may just be dedicated to this particular subreddit, not subreddit, post. So the subreddit is the best of Redditor updates. And the person says, I'm 26 female, husband, 28 male, slapped my best friend, 31 female, for staring at my breast. Let that soak in. Like, just let it soak in, right? Let it soak in. So anyways, getting into it now. Me and my husband have been together for 5 years and married for 1 year. I just had a baby several months ago and I'm breastfeeding her. Before my pregnancy, I was a B cup, but after having my baby, my breasts are increased to double Gs. My husband, of course, loves the increase in my chest size and has lately been expressing sudden bouts of jealousy if anyone showed a little too much interest into me or showed a little too much attention to me, So the weekend before, both of our families and friends gathered together for a family celebration. Everyone congratulated us on the baby and oohed and awed, all of that usual stuff. Somewhere halfway through the dinner, we were all peacefully eating and conversing. My best friend, we'll call Amy, was staring a long time at my breast, and I said, "You look like you want to taste my Norks," and we both laughed. But without warning, my husband slapped my best friend on the face and said her breasts are only for me to look at. Amy was stunned and she immediately left the table while I looked at my husband in shock and asked, "What the F were you thinking?" He said, "Sorry, I'm a bit territorial." Now he knows the way Amy and I joke around, and he's never acted this jealous before. And over what? Her gazing at my breasts that long? Why wouldn't she, or anyone I know for that matter? They're double Ds now, for Christ's sake. His parents saw everything. Everyone did. And they said that he has every right to defend his territory. I'm sorry, are we animals? I went after Amy, who was crying and already had an angry red mark on the side of her face. I calmed her down and she told me we were just joking around. What if he hits you someday? So I don't see my husband capable of doing that, but I am worried about his jealousy that appeared during and after my pregnancy. Is this normal for men to act territorial during this period? And even though that doesn't excuse him from hitting a woman who's also my best friend. Okay, so there is an update, but before I even get into the update, I have to talk my shit about this. Especially coming from someone that was in an abusive relationship, I feel like I can talk about this. You know what I'm trying to say? Sometimes it's just so mind-boggling to me. Not really mind-boggling because I get it. Like, we all have our own journey. We all have to process shit in our own way. So it's always going to look different, whether it's emotional abuse, whether it's physical abuse, it's always going to be different, you know, and sometimes people have to really get down in the bottom of the trenches before they have that aha moment, like it's time for me to leave. Me personally, there's no way in hell I am going to allow someone that I am dating, someone that I'm married to disrespect my friend. I think that honestly, that would have been everything that I needed to see. The moment that I saw his hand reach across and connect on my friend's face, I would have lost it. I would immediately have to backhand him. Immediately. And not only that, the fact that he did it with ease, he did it without blinking, but even justified why he did it. And in front of her family and in front of his family. There's so many different red flags here. Even his parents looked at that shit and said he has every right to defend his territory. Baby, They said everything that I needed to know in a split second. Your husband showed you everything you needed to know in a split second. Even prior to that, because the fact that he's saying that you're his territory, like, I'm not, what? But moving past that, her friend cares more about her than what the fuck, Amy cares more about her friend than what the fuck just happened to her. She's the one that got hit. She's the one that's over here with a welt across her face. And yet she's still looking at her friend like, oh my gosh, what if he does this to you? What if he does this to you? And baby, truth be told, that is a fair statement. So the fact that she's like, oh, he could never, what do you mean he could never? What do you mean he's incapable of doing that? He just slapped your friend in the face. And your friend, again, I understand that everyone has their own process that they have to take, but oh my God, I just don't think that I would be able to witness my friend getting slapped around like that, crying, and then still having the heart to care more about me in that particular situation than herself. And then to fix my mouth and be like, I just don't think he's capable of doing that. Baby, what else do you need to see? What else does he have to show you for it to register in your mind? He is capable of doing that. And then you come to Reddit and you're like, is this normal? Is this normal? Like, and it's just so crazy how abuse works. You know, it's just so crazy. Like when you're in love, like truly in love, you don't see everything, or you're choosing not to see everything. Like you block it out. When I was going through therapy, one of the things that my therapist had said was I disassociated myself in that relationship. Like I detached. I didn't want to acknowledge it. I didn't want to think that that was my circumstance. Like I always thought of myself as a third party looking in. Never me the victim. I didn't want to believe myself to be a victim. I didn't want to see myself to think that, damn, my might have the mighty have fallen. Like I never wanted to process that. So it's just so, again, I know I'm talking in circles, but again, just to hear how individuals that are going through abuse, how they process shit sometimes, what they choose to see sometimes, what they choose to ignore sometimes, it's just very interesting. For me, I know for a fact I would not have been able to see a loved one physically get slapped. I would feel so guilty because it's one thing for me to be disrespected, but I don't have any room in my heart to allow the person that I'm with to disrespect another loved one. And I would just feel so guilty that a loved one got hurt from being close to me. Like, you know, they got through the crossfire. But yeah, we're just gonna go to the next segment. Lord. Okay, so there is an edit. The red mark has by now turned into a horrendous bruise, and I'm freaking out because my husband has never shown this amount of jealousy before, not even close. And the more time passes, the more I think that she might be right. And if he can't control his impulses, then what guarantee is there that he won't do the same for me? Second edit. I'm far from okay with it, and I've been cold towards him and keeping my distance since that day. Every time I see her and the bruise on her mark, I feel rage inside of me, and I cried this morning because I can see that my best friend is in pain and she's still not going to press charges because I'm her friend and he's my husband and all she cares about is me. I'm terrified at the thought of being a single mother, and I don't know if I can handle motherhood on my own. But Amy said that she will support me and help me. When he hit her, I was in shock, but I had a fleeting thought of stabbing him with a knife that was laying in the middle of the table. But I also had the fleeting thought that I can't go to jail because I'm a mother. I love my best friend. When we were in college, a guy roofied her drink and I made him instantly regret it. So I don't care. So I do care for my best friend deeply. again, even reading those updates, it's proof her friend is riding till the wheels fall off. She's riding more for her than the main poster, the person that's over here writing this shit. There's no way in hell, even if I took an L, I'm like really trying to process this. Like, I'm my best friend. I've known my best friend for, since college. I go to her house. I'm looking at her boobies like, damn, girl, you some double D's now, girl. And the next thing I know, I get whacked across my face. Baby, anything that's in sight, a damn coaster, I'm chucking it in his head. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so it wouldn't have gone down the way it went down in this story. But anyways, if it did, and I just sat there and cried to mentally process, oh my God, my best friend's husband just slapped the dog piss out of me, right? Right. And then I looked at my friend and I'm crying to her like, girl, what if he does this to you next? So I'm not even processing what the hell just happened to me. I'm looking at you like, girl, you could be next. And even then, I still take that L. I go home. I don't press charges. But now it's became a purple color. It's blue. I'm bruised up. I'm tore up from the floor up because of your husband. And I took that L. I didn't press charges. And you're still over here talking about, I love her. I care about her. I'm writing for her. No, baby. She's writing for you. She's writing for you. And if she was smart, she would remove herself from the situation. Like, that would be me. I can love you, but in this particular situation, if you choose to stay next to this, I have to go. Because I would be damned if I let this motherfucker put his hands on me again. I got to go. And to be honest, to be truthful, I can love you, but I can love you from a distance. And the disrespect that I just went through, just for you to stay with this man after you witnessed the abuse that I just went through, I have to leave. I have to leave. And when shit hits the fan, I can't promise you that I'm going to still be there when you try to roll past the block again. I can't promise you that. Baby, we all got our demons. We all got our own personal demons, but I'd be damned if your personal demons being a man means I'm over here getting abused. What? Fuck out of here. Oh, okay. To get to the update, Amy's red mark turned into a horrendous bruise and her side of the face was a little swollen for a few days, but has returned to normal size. I have been massaging her injury and rubbing it with arnica oil, but she's still taking ibuprofen. Seeing her in pain was girl! Pause for the phone. Pause for the phone. I'm sorry, I know this is serious. But I'm just trying to imagine me being the friend that's riding for her this whole time. And then homegirl over here talking about I rubbed some oil on it. Bitch, fuck you. Fuck you and this damn oil. Bitch, my face is messed up. Messed up. When you talk about I feel extremely bad. But not bad enough to leave your man. Again, I get it. Everyone has their own process. But that right there, as the friend, Amy, that would have been all I need to do. Like, girl, I don't need you massaging my face. I gotta leave you alone. I gotta fall back hella hard. Baby, you gonna I'm gonna fall back so hard your ancestors are going to feel it, baby. Like, no. Cause when you need me, you won't be able to find me. Tiffany Evans, for y'all, just in case y'all wondering, that's a song. Yes, it is. You won't be able to find me. You won't be able to find me, baby. You're gonna spin that block and I'm not gonna be there. This ain't gonna be Jackson 5. I'll be there. It's not going to be that. It's not. Ain't no way. Talking about you trying to massage some arnica oil on me. And I'm still taking ibuprofen. Oh no. Oh shit, that's funny. That's funny. Anyways, seeing her getting back into it. Seeing her in pain has been painful for me, and I've cried a few times while taking care of her wound, and all she cared about is me getting away from my husband. No shit, Sherlock. Of course that's all she cares about. And all you care about is your husband. Girl. Anyways, the next day after I had posted my first post, my husband had come to me and apologized for acting territorial and striking Amy. He realizes that he should have just played along because he knows that our friendship would never cross the platonic friend line, and he'll go to therapy to fix his jealousy. Period. I accepted his apology because he's the father of my child. But when we had did the deed, the next few days, I felt nothing. Zero connection. I told him to stop on the third day when he was halfway, and he did stop and asked me what was wrong. I told him I was not feeling good, and I just went to sleep. I kept replaying that slap over and over and over again this past week. And the more time passes, the more I realize that even though he might be a good husband and a father, slapping a woman just because she looked at my breast for too long in a joking way is something that I can't forgive him for. I can't continue to live with a man who would do that. I don't even feel love for him anymore, just dead feelings. My baby and I are staying at my parents' place now, and I told my parents everything that had happened, and my father swore that if he was at the table when it happened, he would have beat my husband into a bloody pulp. Also, I want to add that my parents weren't at the family celebration. My other family members were, including my younger sister. They were all in shock and nobody said or did anything. My father is currently getting a lawyer for me, and the entire process terrifies me. My husband has contacted me already and asked why I would do this when he already apologized and said that he was going to therapy, and that isn't that supposed to be enough reason for me to stay? He called me unloyal, double-crossing, and an unworthy cunt. He said that there was a million times he could have cheated on me when I was pregnant and nursing, but he never did, and he should get credit for that because that's what other men would have done. His parents told me that I'm a selfish whore who can't stay true to her husband and has chosen some gay woman over her loving and loyal husband. All of that made my blood boil, and I want to push past my fears of being a single mom and just divorce him. Amy is still more than happy to help me with the baby and even suggested for me to move in with her so she can be there to help me anytime, just as long as I was away from that piece of shit. Someone had a good comment. They said anyone who tells their partner they could have cheated but didn't either did cheat or would have cheated if anyone showed the slightest interest. And you know what? Definitely. I can definitely see that. That's how it ended, so I'm really glad she got through the process of realizing that he is not the one for her. That is not someone that you want to be tied to for the long run. Yes, you may have a child with that individual, but baby, you can do bad by yourself. I'm gonna live by that quote. You can do bad by yourself. Not only that, but also you don't want your child to be witness to the shit that happens between you and your spouse. And you don't want your child to think that how your husband acts is okay. And you also don't want them to learn habits that they got from your husband onto their partner when they get of age. You know what I'm trying to say? So I think she did the best choice for her. The friend should absolutely press charges so that can stay on his record. Because baby, the way he's acting, just how nasty he is, you want to get a paper trail going. You want a paper trail going to show proof that he is abusive and that he potentially could be unfit if push comes to shove when it comes down to custody arrangements. I 100% think that that's what should happen. Yeah. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.